He started the podcast first.
Yeah, the podcast hasn't even fucking started yet, so,
Wait, when does the podcast start?
When he announces that it's starting.
Yeah, well, when I'm all like, hey everyone, this is the podcast, it's basically when we start it, so let's go. Okay, everyone, here... Oh, that's bad. Let's try that again. How about, Roxas, you start off my podcast, how about that? You announce it for me. So it's Cuckshack, episode 3, MFF edition, so you do that. And then announce your guests.
But it's not my podcast.
Too bad.
What? Too bad? How can I fucking start it? I've never done this before.
Alright, fuck it. Alright. Hey everyone, it's fucking Cuckshack episode 3 MFF edition with my fucking 2 worst friends, Roxas, and my slutty, terrible girlfriend I never want to see again, Kabs, on Twitter.
Yeah,
Kabs on FA. Upstairs with Roxas in the room on the opposite side of the basement, because doing this shit in the same room doesn't fucking work. So yeah, so how to start this whole shit going, Roxas, how's your Canadian experience been going so far?
Culture shock a little bit. For somebody who comes from a very scary urban area, seeing people just walk down the street is a little weird. It shouldn't be weird, but it is. Just seeing
you don't have to wear your bulletproof vest anymore. You don't have to worry about getting shot.
People aren't getting shot at night. What is this magic?
Oh my god.
What the heck? I don't have bullet holes in me. What the fuck?
I don't have to worry about a crackhead running up on me when I want to go to McDonald's. What the heck? But yeah, other than that, like, Canada is relatively the same besides just, you know, the safety feeling you have just like walking around. But I'm mostly enjoying it here. Of course,
nice.
like
Mostly.
A good 95% of the people watching this have no fucking idea who you are, so do you want to introduce yourself in some respect?
I am Roxas. I am Paul Roxas on the internet. I'm mainly a Twitch streamer, a very bad one. Other than that, I am just a nobody. I don't know why I'm here.
And Kate, do you want to introduce who you are again for everyone that doesn't care?
Yeah, that was made very apparent at MFF when everybody went up to you and said, I love your artwork, and I got punched in the face by somebody in Fursuit. So,
Get the fuck out of the way, bitch!
Yeah. I'm Kabs. I'm the not-so-better half of Jasonafex, and I do a lot of the artwork that he animates and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Nah, man,
it's
that's
me again.
that all me, baby.
Yeah, that's all Jay.
Yeah, Jay totally has the artistic ability.
So we're literally recording this like a good 14 hours after getting home from MFF, so we just slept, ate some Nando's, and then got up.
Yeah, I think we slept like 10 hours, to be honest.
We slept a lot because Bleakley snored.
Really hard.
Bleakley snored the entire weekend.
I had to
fucking Bleakley.
I had to fucking kick him in the leg one night. So bad.
You guys want to go over the whole MFF thing for people that are listening?
Sure. Where do we start?
The first day of MFF is probably a good start, or just traveling to.
Well, I mean, there was nothing that really happened traveling to MFF. It was just a really long drive, you know, an 8-hour drive.
I feel like for me, the border was like weird. A weird experience.
Oh, yeah, the border. Yeah, so I pulled up to the fucking border, and the border guard asked, so where are you guys going? I'm like, I'm going to an art/costuming convention. And she's like, oh yeah, what's it called? And I said, it's called Midwest Fur Fest. And she's like, yeah, I know what furries are. I'm like, oh,
just tell the cops ahead that you're furries. It'll make life a lot easier for him. It's like, yeah, we know what furries are.
And so after that, she said, everybody's good to go except for your friend Jason here. He's in trouble. And like my asshole like sucked up inside myself, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know what the fuck to think. So she opens the passport and she's like, yeah, this little slip, you're always meant to rip this out and give it to the Canadian border guards before you like cross back into Canada to let the US know that you left the country, and we forgot to do that after we came back from AC.
No, well, we didn't forget. The Canadian border didn't bother to do it. Yeah, like they do it every other time, or they just figure it out.
I don't know. It was something really confusing, but yeah. So we got pulled over, to the side, and they searched our car, and we went inside. And the border guard that called us up, it was actually immediately. Normally we have to wait like 15 minutes to get up to the front. But yeah, he called us up immediately, and he's like, "So, you're Furbies, eh?"
Furbies.
And we're like, yeah.
He's like, "Can you explain what a Furby is exactly to us?" Like,
yeah, he looked at me, he's like, "You look like a good spokeswoman." I'm like, okay. And then, yeah.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, he just asked us about, like, what are furries, what do we do, everything like that. Asked Roxas what he did, and Roxas was like, "Yeah, I play video games for a living," and he just looked at him. With, like,
very
disdain.
Suspiciously.
He's
so,
like, how?
video games, do you they even said that coming back to Canada. It's like, so, do you make good money from that?
Yeah, like, that was, like, the just underlining question. Is it good money, though? And the answer
you're
was,
like, no.
No. Any underlining dream you had from transferring from a border guard to be a internet personality? Just stay as a border guard.
Real job. Fake job.
Fake job.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, like, I felt like the whole experience, like, for that was, like, a little scary because, we have these, big, burly American men taking us out of our car, yelling, like, not yelling at us, but, like, kind of just telling us, like, leave all your shit here, except your wallet. You can bring that in, because we want your money.
Yeah, Caitlin was kind of fucking around for a bit. Oh, do I have my wallet? I think I do. Or do I? And they're like, "Come on, move along, get out of there, lady," because they're starting to think that you're trying to hide something.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't trying to hide anything. I was just looking for my wallet because I'm like, if I don't get my wallet out of the car, then they're gonna be pissed either way. So what the fuck do I do? So I left it in there, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck it, whatever. I can't find it."
You were like, "Oh, Jay, why is the border stressful? You got through so quick this time." It's because, like, it's like the verbal way of, like, stripping you down to your panties and, like, interrogating you down to your, like, finest details. Like, so how do you know all your friends? Where are you going? Why are you going there? How long are you going there for? How long have you been in a relationship? Why are you in a relationship? How do you make money? How much money do you make?
I know.
What's your
Literally
first, last name?
questioning.
How old are you? Yeah.
Just questioning your entire existence, just to make
What's your persona? Like, what's their first sexual scene that you've been in? Have you taken it in the ass before? What'd you have for breakfast today? When's the last time you took a shit? It's like, maybe I don't want to share this information. I miss the days where I could just, like, go somewhere and not have to, like, make a best friend in the process,
Yeah.
But hey, at least the cop that did us on the way back to Canada was, like, smoking hot.
She was hot.
Boy.
She wished me a happy belated
boy.
birthday, and I was like, whew, I'd get lesbian with you any day. Any day.
Same. I would get lesbian with that girl, too.
So, for, like, a mental picture for you guys listening, it was, just as we pulled up to the Canadian border, they switched guards. We had, like, this, like, stereotypical, like, bitchy one switch with this, like, really, like fit, like, short-haired, blonde, like, super,
shaved
like,
sides.
yeah, sexy looking girl. And then you're like, oh shit, hopefully they're not, like, the, like, power trip fantasy girl. But no, they're, like, they're super nice, like, happy birthday, furry stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
Pretend that there's, like, a picture of what this border guard looks like on the screen, and I'll draw it later for everybody.
Yeah, we'll do a sketch and we'll put it up. Oh man, we all wanted a boner, even Caitlin, so, like, it penetrated the whole car. But yeah, like, super nice. It's really refreshing to see, like, a sexy, like, fucking strong female, like, cop and not be a dick.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to the con, and what happens next?
We check in and get cucked out of $25.
Oh, that was
yeah,
so
that
gay.
was bullshit. Yeah, they didn't tell us when I booked the hotel that it would be a $25, like, per night extra charge for every person above, like, 2 people that was staying in the room, which was really dumb.
Yeah, we tried to do the usual con thing where, like, you get just, like, a double room or something and then people sleep on the floor because, like, rooms are, like, cripplingly expensive, so... But then, like, oh, you're actually having people sleep with you? Well, then, too fucking bad. I guess you're just paying the normal rate now. Yeah. Even though they're sleeping on the floor. It's like, well, thanks a lot, you fucking assholes.
I should have got the double bed like I did before. Like, remember how I rebooked?
Yeah, we should have just ended up doing that. We'll definitely do that from now on.
It ended up being the same cost, so yeah, we'll just do that next time. Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I think it ended up costing more because I thought it was just like a $10 difference between.
It ended up being like $1,000 Canadian.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For like what, 3 nights or 4 nights?
4 nights.
4 nights, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like it in American, it wasn't that bad, like the cost. So it wasn't a big deal. Like, I get paid for everything I do in USD anyways, so it's not like it matters to me,
So how would you compare MFF to the other cons so far? Like, based on like how big it is, like all the panels and fucking the dealer's den and all that shit. I mean, it's the biggest con of them all now. So
yeah, they beat him. Beat AC.
I know.
To die.
17-year reign ogre, baby.
What do you think, Roxas? Do you like it more or less than FWA?
I like the layout of the convention more so than like other years of MFF. Like having them open up the convention center is really nice. The walkway though is something that needs to be fixed. That's my like biggest gripe with moving in the convention center.
Yeah, it's way too hot, especially for fursuiters.
And the walk is insane. Like especially like having us like at the Hilton. So we're like in a midway point between the convention center and then like the main hotel where everyone's usually hanging out anyways. So it's like if we don't cross the street, it takes like us 10 minutes to get to the main hotel, and it takes us like 8 minutes to get to the convention center. Which
it doesn't take 8 minutes to get to the convention center. It was more like 5 because the convention center is closer to us than yeah.
But
I could justify those heaters at nighttime, but yeah, I have no idea why they had like a greenhouse fucking heater environment, like the death fucking corridor going to the main convention hotel. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't need to walk through Satan's butthole to try to get to the con center, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a little much.
But other than that, like, comparatively to FWA, I don't think many cons are going to be able to beat FWA until, like, FWA has to branch out of its main hotel environment, because everyone is just there. It is in one hotel. No one has to go anywhere crazy. I don't have to, go a block down the street to see a friend. It's just in the same enclosure. You barely even have to leave the convention center, or the hotel, I mean. In FWA, it's just perfect. Go to FWA.
Would you say that you guys prefer smaller scale conventions then?
What, sorry, Jay?
So would you guys say that you prefer smaller scale conventions then? Because I think it's just a force of nature that you need to
I wouldn't
expand
consider FWA a small scale convention by any means. Like, it's still almost 5,000 people. It's a large scale done right. Yeah, it's like 5,000 people that go to that con, and it's just such a big hotel and such a nice hotel that it's just perfect. Like, you don't have to walk far to get anywhere. It's not overcrowded like MFF. Like, the elevators can get bad at some times depending on like what floor you're on. That's why I requested a low floor when I went with Pato this year. But yeah, Jay, when you go next year, like, you'll see. I think it'll probably be your favorite con too. Like,
we'll see.
Yeah, it's really nice. I did like MFF though.
What did you think about the 2 arrests that happened at MFF and the fucking like we
2
saw
arrests?
like
I thought there was just 1.
No, I think
I saw the 3. First one, the guy that the fucking Nazi guy that got stripped down to his fucking butt, naked outside.
That guy in particular is an idiot.
There was another Nazi later on doing the fucking Heil later on.
Oh yeah. That.
Oh no,
yeah,
he had like a communist outfit on.
The first one, yeah. It was the same Confederate furry that's been going to a lot of cons and getting arrested. Like, look at me, I really need attention. Look at me, fucking dickhead guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
that honestly feels like what it is. I don't think he's. Yeah.
He's been banned from every single con, even at like MFF. Like, he was actually banned from the con. The only reason like he got through anywhere is that he had a completely like different suit he was wearing. But I think he was in the Headless Lounge when he was like spouting like the crazy Nazi shit and saying like "Seek Heil" really loud. And then that's when from what I've been told, the cops came in, told him to just fucking leave the fursuit with a friend, and he was naked under the fursuit. And so that's why in the picture that you see, he has a towel or a blanket over his body because he's fucking naked. How awful does it have to be a Nazi fuck and also have to go get arrested and go to the police station naked as a Nazi fuck?
Well, he was probably premeditating that. It's like, oh, they won't be able to take me out of suit if I'm not wearing anything underneath, but too bad, so sad, right? Like, you have to be a special flavor of desperate to like have your entire like social existence for like a small pocket of like racist people online and pay fucking thousands of dollars to like impress them. Like, that's pretty sad.
It is really sad. I can't understand like his mindset because he's an idiot.
Yeah,
I can't understand the mindset of an idiot.
You could expel the same amount of energy and money doing something productive and creative, and you'd have thousands of people like supporting you. But no, just be a fucking idiot
I feel like talking about him though, like, is just giving him attention at the same time. Like,
oh well, not a big deal. Like, what does that do? All it does is feeding him to making more episodes where he just embarrasses himself. So more power to him. Do this for the rest of your life, pal. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, he'll get absolutely.
You're just making
nowhere.
us all laugh at you. Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody's like, nobody's angry anymore. It's just like more like, wow, this guy is so sad. Like, it's just become funny.
No, the thing that people were angry about at the con was the Fox thing.
That
was stupid.
Furious.
I'm so pissed off about this whole like epidemic of like helper animals coming to conventions and shit. You don't need that shit. Like, sure, there's a couple of people that need that, but not that many.
I know people that genuinely do need service animals at cons, and like the people that bring dogs to cons that are not trained service animals, like those people need to just get the fuck out because they're making a bad name for the people that actually need them. Yeah,
it's
like,
extremely
obvious when the pet is not trained correctly.
They're usually eccentric dogs that are there purely to get attention, and they're not trained at all.
Well, do you remember that one video of at FWA where they had that one lady with a service dog, and it was sitting there politely doing its job, and then that one guy with the golden retriever that was like trying to like attack it, that they had to
jump on
pull
people
back.
and running around.
It's
like if the person is actively pulling at the collar and shit, they don't need that. Like,
well,
that
that's
dog's
not a service animal at that point. It's a detriment.
Like, the service animal, like the point of having service animal is to help you when you're like, feeling low and, stuff like that. But like, if it's causing you more trouble than what it would have, like not being there, what is the point?
You're just being a cunt. Yeah.
You're just being an idiot.
And that fox, like, I don't know if it was a rumor or if it was actually true that person was claiming that the fox was a service animal. But if they were claiming that it was a service animal, like, that's fucked up. Come on.
It's like, obviously not a fucking service. It's a
fox.
It's
a fox.
It's a fox. That animal is not capable of like empathetic communication. Like a golden retriever.
It's not even domesticate. Like, yeah, you can't even domesticate them that well. Like, they're fucking animals.
They're a wild animal. They're not meant to be domesticated.
Yeah, they're extremely skittish.
But look how cute it is.
Yeah, like what? My brain just fucking.
Like I honestly don't know how much of that is a rumor and how much.
Well, we saw
true,
the pictures of it. Like,
yeah,
I saw the pictures of the guy walking around.
The fox was there, but was it wearing like a vest?
No, it wasn't.
Well then,
it's not a service. It's fucking obvious. It's just. I don't know. Like, obviously, it was like extremely blown out of proportion than what it needed to be handled. The convention should have obviously just been like, okay, yeah, we don't want this here, bye. But they decided to like readily defend it for some reason, and then that's when everyone was just like calling out MFF on its bullshit.
Yeah.
But wasn't the dealer's den fucking crazy? Like, when it first opened up and shit, even like the first couple of days was just shoulder to shoulder people everywhere. It was the biggest dealer's den I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, considering like it's literally bigger than AC now. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was nuts. I did like it though. Like, I did like the setup.
Yeah, it made it like AC. Their like dealer's den is in that giant like open warehouse feel.
And I don't like it. It doesn't feel nice when I go in there. Like I don't know.
I feel like I'm going to like a very small flea market.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It makes it feel smaller. Like, being in such a big area just makes it feel small. Like, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just AC is just, it needs to just go away at this point.
I really don't like it anymore. Like I'm really heavily debating whether or not I want to go next year because it's like it's within driving distance, but it ends up being so fucking expensive.
Now that there is another Top Dog Con, I feel like it will heavily impact the like attendeeship of AC because people like me that are a little naive to cons will like, oh well, if you're gonna go to cons, you might as well go to the biggest one, right? This is obviously the one,
the
like
best,
just like purely being number one, that it has to be the best, right? But now like there is like another one competing for that position, it's like, oh well, then maybe everyone will start going to MFF and AC will start to stagnate.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Like, what do you feel is the top three things you feel is causing AC to slowly decline in like attendeeship? Or it's not really declining yet, but at the like rate of progression is definitely lower than other cons right now.
I personally feel that like the biggest thing is like Uncle Kage and trying to like put forth this view on the furry community that's not what the actual furry community is. like trying to shun and hide all sexuality at all costs and trying to tell people how to interact with the media, and he should just fuck off because like he's really not the spokesperson for all furries. He's and not. Like he needs to get that through his head.
The point of the community.
He can do that. Like he can do that to his heart's content. Like if that's what they want, but like don't expect growth from that because.
Well, it's just going to stagnate his con because a lot of people disagree, and that's why it's stagnating.
Yeah, like there is a portion of people that are purely in the community just for like, oh, I like cartoons and I'm a mascot. But yeah, you're neglecting a huge number of people that don't identify with that, right? Like I don't identify with that.
And like the guests of honor.
I respect the guy.
The guests of honor that they have every single year, it's people that are not a part of the community.
Yeah, they're like either sports mascots or someone who did a voice 20 years ago.
Yeah,
or
and
from
you're
a cartoon
just like,
30 years ago. It's like who?
Like, why don't you actually, support people that are part of the community for once?
Like
because they don't want to recognize that.
The past 3 years, I've been to AntherCon and they've said the guest of honor. I'm like, who's that?
Yeah, I'm the same boat. It's like who? I wasn't even born when this person was relevant.
Yeah.
So like maybe they're just tailoring it to that, like really like grey muzzled people, I guess, and like the younger generation of furries, the new generation is going elsewhere.
They're trying to like normalize the con in a sense. Like they're trying to like weave out like the furry-esque like negativity thought process, and then bringing in like these random voice actors from, like you said, like 20 years ago, sports athletes, yada yada yada, and trying to bring in just like people who would not really identify with the community, which is stupid.
So basically just mainstream watching it and turning it to like another stereotypical anime con or something like that.
Yeah, and really... like that's...
I feel like it'll eventually take that direction.
It takes away the warmth from furry cons. Like it does not... It feels cold. Like that's the best way to describe it. Like you walk through AntherCon and you feel like this cold air, like that you can't talk to anybody because it's so spread out that like it's impossible to, meet up with people. At least MFF, being that it's so big, like, we still met a lot of people because the location was nice and the way it was run was nice. And yeah, like, nobody's trying to hide anything. Nobody's trying to, like, everybody's just being who they are. And that's what makes,
the
like,
MFF
MFF
layout
great.
Is so perfect for, like, conventions, like, in general, even outside of the furry fandom. Like, you have 3 hotels right next to each other, whereas in an AC you have like a hotel and then 3 business towers and then another hotel and then like 4 business towers. The elevator
layout in AC is kind of awkward. I liked at MFF how like right bang smack in the middle between the 2 hotels is the dealers in like the main activity area, like the hub. So one hotel doesn't feel cucked out.
And like you can all get there by a walkway. Like you don't have to go outside the entire con. Which, like where at AC, it's in the middle of the fucking summer, and you have to walk outside in fursuit, and you die. Like, that's worse. I'd rather have, like, the, steamy hallway at MFF over having to walk outside.
Yeah, like, that steamy hallway wasn't terrible either, because, like, I got a little bit of enjoyment, like, walking past people, because there's, like, possibility for engagement just there. Like, oh,
exactly, because it's so, like, tight that, like, you can read each other's badges as you're going by, and, like, you can just talk to people. Like that's how I met Sabergats, was like we just walked past each other in the hallway, and I'm like, oh shit, let's take a picture together and stuff. And
there's less downtime,
exactly. Like we met a lot of people.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
I met a fuck ton of people, but it's probably helped that I have a fursuit now as well. That probably helps a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So Jay, actually, I have a question for the host.
Jasonafex?
Oh, that fucking pissed me off so much. Like, a serious 75% of the people that came up to me, they, like, get a little smile of enjoyment first, and then it drops. And then, like, the head tilts, like, a good 30 degrees to the left. And then they try and, like, see if I'm the real fucking one with my badge. So, oh yeah, someone totally walking around with a full Jasonafex fursuit, but it can't be the real guy. Let me just double confirm.
Is that the real Jasonafex?
Yeah. Are you the real one? Yeah, like, what? Is there, like... I'm legit, like, concerned. Is there other, like, like, fursuits of me out there or something? Like, am I that, like, obscure that I wouldn't be there? It's like, no, that can't be right.
I have a question for the host, if I may. How did you enjoy fursuiting?
I loved it. The only downside was I didn't like my maker and the process that the maker put me through, but that is not something I want to talk about on the thing. I'll like, tangent for a good 30 minutes, but the actual suiting itself, I loved it. It was great fun.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it yet. Like, I mostly just, do the same shit, do the 2 suites on screen and shit, but, like, obviously a lot of people enjoy it, a lot of people are getting a kick out of it, and that just makes me feel great, so.
Yeah, I've never seen you have such energy at a con before. Like, I remember us talking about that, where you're just, like, usually, like, by day one, you're like, okay, it's time to rest in the room.
Yeah.
For the rest of the con. But then, like, this time you're like, oh, go out? Okay, let's go out.
Yeah.
But,
it didn't help that, like, the previous con, like, I had a suit that I wasn't happy with, and the one before that didn't have any, so I felt like the third wheel. So you guys, like, doing studio shit, I'm just kind of grumpily there with my pockets in my fucking hoodie and, you know, doing jack shit, you know?
Yeah.
It was more engaging this time, and I think that helped a lot with energy. Like, you gotta feel like you're participating.
Yeah. I for one was really happy to see you having like a good time in fursuit, because like I've really loved fursuiting, and like I wanted, of all things, to have my boyfriend like have an interest in it as well, because it would just be another thing that we could have in common, and like that makes me really happy. Excuse me. But
if we're making like obnoxious noises, I'm gonna sneeze now, because like you said, the cold atmosphere, like I left a window open, so I'm fucking cold. Give me a second. Oh, that's gonna sound fucking amazing.
That was gross.
Alright, we're good now.
I fucking heard that in here. Jesus.
What were we talking about again? Fursuits?
Fursuit,
What do you feel about your fursuit, Roxas?
How do I feel about my fursuit? Before it was a literal school bus. I could.
It was really fucking.
Hop on the magic school bus.
Yeah, it was like the biggest head like I've ever seen. Like I've never seen a bigger head since. But
neither have I. You're legit like the guy I know for the guy with the obnoxiously large like fucking fursuit.
It was big.
Yeah, I like when I first got it.
Up on the, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
When I first got it, I thought it was pretty big, but I was too excited that I had a fursuit in my hands that was mine. So I just like let it be. And as I was walking along and looking at other people's fursuits, and this was MFF like my first year, so this was like 3 years ago, I was like, I feel like I'm a little large. And then I'm like going in the headless lounge and I'm holding my head and I'm looking around like back and forth. I'm like, huh, I'm fucking huge. I don't like this. So
it doesn't help that not only was it big, it was goofy looking too. So you had like huge ass
hair
like fucking Dumbo ears, and you had a huge like muzzle.
Like people thought I was a rabbit. Tongue. The people like I had so many people was like, so like you're some sort of rabbit or something. I'm like, no, I'm a dog. So like my maker was super cool about it. She was, you know, for free, just like completely basically remade the head, and
it looks a lot better now. But yeah.
So like fursuiting now is a much more enjoyable experience. Like this was the longest I fursuited like during a con. Usually I'll have like a day and then like very short bursts of fursuiting, but like every time I fursuited was like over an hour at least, which is super enjoyable. Like I got so many pictures. But fuck, I just lost my train of thought.
I forget what I was gonna say.
Fucking hell.
Alright, fuck it. Different subject then. Let's talk about our interesting weed adventure 2 days into your Canada trip.
Oh boy. We got like 2 baggies of triple strength gummy bears, a cookie called the Great White Shark, and like just this vape pen. And the vape pen's not bad. Like that's a very light high. Like
it makes you just happy.
It just like, makes you happy. Chill. It doesn't inhibit like your body movement at all. Like so that's not bad. Like that's basically if you want to like have a good social time with friends. Like just 2 puffs of that.
The gummy bear was a little rough, but
the gummy bear was a bit rough.
Yeah.
Like that was an indica high, right? Which is a body high, which basically makes you like a vegetable.
Can you even talk about like drugs on YouTube?
We talk about sex on YouTube. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's age restricted. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about. I'm like, we're like getting really into detail about like the drugs, like talking about what kind of strain they are. But
yeah, but no, it should be fine. Like
disclaimer,
if you can
should never do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. Seriously, after this story, you will not want to do drugs ever again.
It's a positive story. We're not encouraging this shit. It's bad time.
It sounds like, it gets bad.
I want to try that. No,
you will not want to try. Let me. I got this.
Yeah. Okay. You continue.
So, when we were out on Kate's birthday dinner, we had a few drinks, and we were still pretty tipsy when we got back to the house. So we decided, fuck it. If there's a time to do the cookie, the time is now. not realizing how strong the cookie is. Like, we probably realistically should have taken like little bites. Instead, we just cut the bitch right in half, and we both just ate it whole. And it was disgusting. It was the worst cookie I've ever, like, just actually the worst thing I've ever just eaten. It was terrible.
It's bad.
We go back up to Bleakley's room, where the wonderfulness of a Twitter dance video occurred. That was like the full effect of the fucking cookie. I wish I could describe where I was, but I don't know where I was, to be honest. I was definitely on a different existence. Like
a different existence.
See,
Yeah.
now the worst part about this little clip is that Bleakley on the left there wasn't even high or drunk.
Bleakley was just Bleakley. But
Right.
I was
Okay.
I was so high, guys, that life was in a picture, and the best way I could describe that was like I would look somewhere, and instead of like, you know, a clear kind of video-esque look on life, it was like picture. Look again somewhere else, picture. Like, it was the worst thing. Oh, that.
Well,
video.
actually, yeah, we'll play. Like, you guys actually watch this on your side as well, so you can fucking get.
You need
the
to
audio.
link it, yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, dude.
I am the way. I am the world.
So bad.
I am the world. See, I think the best part about this video is that I come to like consciousness in a bit, and I tell Caitlin that this was a really stupid idea.
That was a really stupid idea.
That was a really stupid idea.
I'm gonna see this tomorrow. You're a fucking idiot.
I just love, like, that's the last bit of like real consciousness that I had that night. Like, telling Caitlin this was a really stupid idea, looking at the camera and telling future me that you're a fucking idiot. But
See, that was before you even took the gummy.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
knew
we're
what was
going
going
to that.
on.
like, we decided to like double the effects, and we're just like, okay, yeah, fuck it, we'll take half of a gummy with it, and we cut the
triple
gummy,
strength.
the triple strength, like super gummies that already kind of fucked us up to the same degree, and we cut it in half. We eat it, and I'm like chewing this. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why am I?
Yeah, you were eager. It was so eager. Like, you were dead on the bed, and then someone just said gummy, and you're like, what? Yeah, let's do it. And you sprinted Naruto style out of the room down the stairs. Started rummaging through the packet.
I just fucking, like, by the time everyone's down, I'm like, I cut it in half with my finger. I'm like, hey, eat it. And then
It was like already in your mouth at that point.
we migrate over to the living room, and then, like, my brain at this point, there's so much THC in my system that it's in shut off mode.
All right,
There's,
are we ready for the fucking like post gummy video now?
yeah,
Yeah.
this is like
Gummy and cookie.
Yeah, this is the double
this
wombo
is
combo Roxas.
this is double. Ugh, what are we doing?
All right, ready? All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Tony ma. You guys want to realize this is me asking you to go to the hospital.
Might be a good idea to correct yourself back on the couch, Roxas.
You're so god.
Finger toe,
Time?
Naruto, Coco, I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Oh no, dude. Okay, so after this point, I pass out. Like, my body just shut down. And that's where the picture of, like, me sleeping is from. And I'm, like, super pale because my body is, like, understanding that this foreign substance is probably not okay if it's making me, like, act like this. So I wake the fuck up really quickly. I proceed to jump off the couch. I'm like, I have to throw up. And then
This was like hours later. Like, we spent a good 3 hours just watching Super Deluxe Stone Mode. Like, out of our mind. We had some, like, ice cream cake. And by the time we came back, like,
I
we
know-
should probably check on Roxas.
Can I-
Roxas, do you want to lay down? And
Wait,
there's
wait.
no response.
Wait, can I tell the fucking story about my experience with the ice cream cake before before we continue? Because this was before that. But this was before you woke up.
Oh, this is before that. I didn't even know.
This was before.
I guess I was dead, so I didn't know.
You were dead at this point, yeah. You were long gone.
I was nearly on Roxas's level. I was still conscious, but I was gone. So I sat down. Actually, no, before that, they're like, you gotta cut the ice cream cake because you're the birthday girl. I'm like, you're gonna make me wield a knife while, like, I don't even know where I am. And so they're turning the ice cream cake for me, and I'm like, it's the hardest thing ever to, like, push down and cut this ice cream cake. Like, I'm struggling. And anyways, I put some on, like, everybody's plates. We sit down, and, like, I don't even know how to explain the tunnel vision I had, but I was just looking at the cake, and it was like one of those, like, trippy tunnels that, like, look like they're getting further down as you look, like, deeper into them. And, like, I was just looking at this cake while I was eating it, and, like, everything around the cake was just black, and I could hear, like, echoes of people talking around me. And, like, I wasn't understanding what was going on. And then I heard Bleakley and Shockedal say, like, yo, you're doing so well for somebody that fucked up. And I'm like, I'm dying. Like, I'm literally dying eating this cake. But, yeah, anyways. Then we go back into the living room, and I will let Roxas take over from here.
Yes. So
at this point, before Roxas takes over, he's been dead for a solid, like I said, 2 to 3 hours. He hasn't said a fucking word. He's been, like, dead.
Passed out.
I stay in idle conversation to the other guys. Maybe we should see if Roxas needs to lay down. Roxas, do you think you need to lay down? And his only response, this is the first words he said in hours, was, I'm gonna throw up.
That was like the trigger word. And I proceed to get up, go behind the couch, grab the, like, belt line of my underwear and pants, and pull them down, exposing myself to everyone, and upchucking my entire birthday meal that we had with Kate, which was, keep in mind, a nice steak that I didn't get to digest. So I'm, like, standing there. Apparently, this is just after the fact, because it felt like
just
minutes.
Standing. You were, like, power stance down with your fucking arch, like, your back
my
arch,
legs
pouring
were,
your
like,
balls and ass right in front of Shockedal's face.
Yeah, poor fucking Shockedal had to, like, just look into the iris of my butthole for a solid minute. Well, I don't know, what was it even a minute? Because it felt like a few minutes to me, but
it was a few minutes.
It was a while, yeah. That was a moment.
But, like, I just, like, kept, like, it was, like, not, like liquid. It was, like, chunks of shit coming out of me. And I just have my pants down, and that's what, like...
I still don't understand that part.
You think I fucking understand? I did it. I'm the man behind the balls. And I, like, Bleakley and Kate, like, fucking, like, grandma shuffle me over to the bathtub, or not bathtub, but the fucking toilet, and I, like, am still upchucking, and I'm like, it is the most painful, like, just chunks of me coming out, and, like, thinking back to it, there was nothing in my stomach after the first roar, so whatever is in my upper intestine is now, I'm basically shitting out of my mouth at this point.
You said you could taste the like. What did you eat 2 days ago that you said that you could taste?
Yeah, the poutine. Like the poutine I ate from a few days ago was coming out. And I'm like, and then, like, after a while, I, like, just kind of sleep on the rim of the toilet, which is like,
yeah, we just left you there. Like, we're all like
fucking ditched
out of our
me.
minds ourselves. Like, hey guys, I'm going to bed. We'll just give Roxas a pillow. And we'll see him good night.
And, like, I eventually, like, come back into consciousness. I look over at the makeshift bed that you guys made. I'm like, that's nice. And then just pass the fuck out on it. And then I wake up at, like, 4 or 5 in the morning, I want to say, and I'm just like, my first reaction, looking around, super weak. There's nothing in my, well, not, there's still some in my system, but I later expel the rest of it, and I'm, like, super weak, like, wobbly, like, can't do anything. I look down the stairs, and I'm like, Caitlin! My first reaction is to call for, like, the matriarch of the house. And then I'm like,
good to know who your safety net is. Caitlin!
And I'm just like, after a while, I'm like, she's not coming up. So I go over to the kitchen and I drink some water, and I drank a lot of water. and then I heat up some taco bake, and I eat the hell out of that. And I'm just sitting there, like, reconsidering, like, my life choices at this point to get to this point. And then, like, I just pass the fuck out at the counter, and then I wake
right
up
in front
like,
of the taco bake.
Yeah, and I wake up an hour later. I'm like, I should sleep somewhere else. So I take the blanket, and I'm like ready to go back downstairs to my room, and I'm like, I can't make it downstairs. So I just go into the living room where I upchucked to make sure my upchuck wasn't there, because then I would have just picked it up, and then I passed out. Caitlin woke me up, and yeah, the rest is history.
We were still fucked the following day. Like, it took a full day to get over that.
When I hit the bed, like, I was saying, like, while Roxas was out of his mind throwing up, I was like, I've got to stay up here with him. Like, I feel so bad. Like, I can't leave him up here alone, but I was almost at his point because I had taken just as much, plus several more drinks. And so I got downstairs. I hit the bed, and I immediately woke up. Like, that, I passed out so fast. Like, it...
Yeah, I was donezo too. Like, I wanted to, like, stay up there with Roxas, but I was starting to, like, get fucking, like, tunnel vision too. Like, it was a hard time for me to stand up. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go to bed, you know, I'm just fucked up.
Fucking Bleakley abandoned me.
Yeah, I asked him, like, hey, Bleakley, you got this? Like, yeah, I got this. Like, I come up an hour later to check on him, and he's gone.
And then, yeah, he just fucking left. But yeah, no, we will never do that again.
I don't think I could ever, like, put THC in my body ever again, to be honest. I can't, no, maybe I, like, could smoke again, but I don't think I could ever do edibles again. That's kind of, like,
turned off, yeah.
Like, yeah. It took me, like, the first 2 days of MFF to, like, even put alcohol in my system, and even then it was very tame amount of alcohol.
Yeah, that was so funny. It's like, like, this episode makes us want to, like, oh, let's do MFF completely clean. No, like, toxins, no drugs. And then, second day, hey, let's go check out the fucking, like, worst parties we can at MFF.
Oh, no, the fucking underwear party, man. That was...
Thanks, Tal.
Thanks, Tal. You're probably watching this right here. But... Tal's like, yeah, we'll go to this room party. We'll try to find alcohol. So
it's super chill. It's we just get back from going out to dinner. And we're like, oh, we should hit up some parties when we get back. Because Caitlin and Roxas, well, not Roxas, but the guys were feeling like pretty drunk already from dinner.
I was a little tipsy from like powering down Tal's drink a little bit.
Yeah. So like he's doing hookups on the way back. He's calling some red flags. We didn't think of too much of it. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be sweet. We head out. We knock on this, like, super, like, huge ass,
no, the
like,
guys
VIP
before that we met
door.
that, like, walked out of the room prior. And they told us that, like, oh, there's not that many people. There's, like, 10 people. There was not 10 people. There was, like, 20.
There were a lot of people in
Fuck
that room.
you, random guys that we interacted with the hallway. There was 20.
It was, like, the one building in the whole hotel that, like, the one room, sorry, that was, like, a double door room, like a VIP suite with, like, a hole in the eye, like something you'd see out of a movie, right? We literally had to knock and they had to look through and, like, check us. And make sure that we're with the guy that got invited, and then they open the door. And as they open the door, it's a guy, like, it was meant to be like a pants off party, which was like something that was already like making me like, it's probably going to be like really gay. I'm like, nah, there's going to be women there, it's going to be fine. Like, I like gay stuff, but not like 100%. I want people like rubbing up to be identifying me, like, oh, Jason.
Yeah, like I thought there were going to be other women there, so at least
I've
and
gone to
Jade
underwear
wouldn't feel uncomfortable.
Where there's no women.
Yeah. Anyway, so they open the door. The first thing we see. There's not only no underwear, no pants, there's no shirts. It's just everyone's fucking borderline nude. There was a lot of nude people there. The host was, just a huge, like, buff black guy with, like, little tiny blue
super
Speedos.
tall, is just, like...
He had to, like, crouch underneath the door frame to look at us, and I'm like, holy shit, it's a Zosh picture!
And immediately behind him, while he's opening the door, there's a guy getting jacked off on the couch behind him.
This guy was vigorously jacking the other guy off. Like, I mean, I have never seen somebody...
There was, like, that, like, kumbaya in the fucking corner, like, towards the table, like, where all the alcohol was. There was a guy just, like, rubbing another's butthole. Like,
yeah, like, it was straight out of the fucking movie. Like, this party was meant to be over at this point, because it was a solid 1 a.m., but there was, like, 30 gay dudes in there, and they're all fucking naked, and, like, they had jock straps on. You could see assholes. Like, they're touching up each other, like, uh-oh, fuck, I need outie. So, like, as
Jay,
they were, like,
Jay was just like, I was right, and just fucks off. I will never forget that.
I will always trust Jay from this day forth. I will never.
Oh, that whiskey
ever
though, too. That
go
whiskey
to
was
one
not even
of
worth
those.
it.
I will never, ever, ever go to one of those again. Never. Never in my life.
And we go down the hallway, we hitch a left, and it's a fucking ecstasy room. Everyone's high out of their fucking minds.
But yeah, just so we get this on recording, so you understand, Jay, just how fucking serious I am. You were 100% right.
I fucking know I'm right.
I will never do that again.
Oh, God.
And you fucking cunts. You're like, oh, Jay, stop being so lame, Jay. Oh,
Yeah,
Jay, fucking, just come on, Jay.
Yeah, come on, Jay. It's gonna be fine. We've been to them before. They're super tame. I walk in. I'm like, oh, no.
Regret.
Oh, God. What's other crazy shit that happened in FF?
Holy
Well,
shit.
that was the only crazy night. Other than that, it was
Yeah,
just like fun.
I think we detoxed after that night. I think in combination with the weed episode and the fucking gay room episode and the ecstasy episode, I think like learnt the lesson and just fucking had a normal con from that point on.
Yeah, we did. It was really fun after that.
Holy shit. Met a lot of nice people like
Airylina, TW Stacker.
I Give You Lemons.
I Give You Lemons was super sweet. I love him.
Obviously our boy Tal.
Yeah, Tal, honest to God, that was not your fault, man. Like, we were asking
Yeah,
you to
we're
hook
not
us up
talking
with
shit about
parties.
you, man. Like, yeah, but
Yeah,
we
like,
asked for that. We literally butted you up. Hey,
You're
Tal, hook
a
us up.
great
Yeah.
guy. I always love hanging out with you, Tal. But no, also Ozok was super chill for the, like, little time I got to speak with him. August was super nice. Just like everybody we met was super nice. And for Airylina,
Nicole was really cool. It was fun first sitting with her, Nicole. She was sweet.
Yeah, Nicole too. This one's for Airylina and TW Stacker. Tony Ma!
Tony Ma!
Tony Ma,
Tony Ma! Oh,
Tony
Roxas,
Ma.
please. Roxas, please. Tell your bad story.
Okay, so for those of you who watch my stream, you know exactly what the fuck Tony Ma means. Tony Ma is a kind of just like broken down Choni Ma, which in Chinese means fuck your mother, but the reasoning behind that is that in PUBG, for those who like know, is that it's gotten super popular and it has gotten like huge advertisement over in China and like other Asia countries. So there's a fuck ton of Asia players. Usually that wouldn't be a problem, but they, you know, servers aren't region locked. So their NA servers became Oceanic servers very quickly. So every time, you know, you get killed or kill a Chinese person, they'd be like, oh, Tony Ma, or like, fuck your mother, Tony Ma. Fuck your mother, stupid Americans, just stupid shit like that. And
it got real old real quick because not only were they like toxic, they usually cheat too.
Or they
they're
just
laggy.
lag.
The lag
Yeah.
was so bad. You would shoot somebody, see blood off of them, and they would just like execute you. It's insane.
You couldn't go one game without coming across
Oh.
like toxic, laggy, cheaty.
The worst
Chinese
example
players.
was the Red Army.
Yeah, tell the Red Army story.
So me and Jason were fucking doing duos, and we were doing so good. Like we dropped at prison, we killed prison, we got
Yeah,
like,
we're
a
fucking
bunch
good
of
at
good
PUBG.
gear.
Like we win like every third game. It's like 2 L's and a W.
It's just
We're
like
fucking good at this game. So
we had such good gear, like at the start, and we were just like headshotting left and right. I'm like, we were feeling so good, and we were fighting these guys in this compound, and we noticed they got slaughtered, like really quickly, but we didn't really like think of anything of it. So we had like our back to the circle, and we were like exchanging meds and like, you know, just generalized like organization of equipment. And I noticed like 2 people like coming up this hill towards shelter, if you guys know where that is, for those who play. And I'm like, okay, that's a few people. So I took a shot and I hit one, and I'm like, okay, that's a lot of people. That's all. Wait, that's 5, 6, 7. What? Hold up. And like, there was, shit you not, 8 motherfuckers
in duos.
and this was duos. And I'm like, holy shit, Jay, look, it's the Red Army.
Here they come.
And then like,
and for those that don't know, the Red Army was this like H1Z1 group where it was like all Chinese players that wore like red jackets and they just slaughter servers.
yeah,
Like,
I'm
they
like,
team up.
it was like it was scary as fuck too, because they were cheating. They were moving at like sonic speed, and Jay like peeked over, like he like leaned over to the right of the tree and just got eliminated immediately. And I'm like screaming at this point, like, we're dead! Please! Be gentle! I'm like in open mic screaming this. And I just get slaughtered too. And they're like, they come over to our bodies and like, ma.
Yeah, like
Tony Ma.
Roxas immediately disconnected, but I like hung there for a bit to see what had happened, and all 8 of them, like vultures, started like looting me at once. They're like, Tony, man, I'll keep out. It was fucking Oh,
It's
God.
so scary. It was just, I never want to experience that again.
I'm so
Yeah.
upset you weren't streaming for that match.
I know. The one match, like, the craziest bullshit happens. That would have been, like, top of Reddit. But yeah, so that is where Tony Ma came from. And there was a few people that recognized what it meant in DW and...
I forget the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy, like, as soon as he walked into our room, Kate was like, Tony Ma? He's like, Tony Ma? Like, he knew immediately. There was also this one guy where I was in Fursuit where he took a picture of me and Kate and then was just like, oh, take a picture of Kate's badge so you know you could find us on Twitter, and then, like, looked at my badge. He's like, that's curse word.
Baka!
And then he, like, proceeds to, like, put his camera on the floor and just, like, jokingly, like, hit my Fursuit head going, baka, baka, baka. My fucking con badge name.
Great.
I need to think of a good new one.
Yeah, you do.
There'll probably be a new meme at that point.
Nothing's gonna beat, like, Tony Ma Big Boy.
Tony Ma Big Boy.
Just the amount of stories you got out of that badge name. Yeah, I don't think it's going to beat it.
What else could we, like, talk about involving the con?
Well-
I feel like we hit the main keys.
Yeah, the main big subject. So we'll move on to, like, just, like, your profession and shit like that. So
Yeah, I was about to say, we haven't really talked about his stream much.
Yeah, so you play, like, a lot of PUBG. You play a lot of, like you're getting into TF2 again. So.
Yeah, I've been streaming on... Well, I've been on the platform for about 5 years. I've been streaming for about 3 years on, like, various different accounts. My first one was Furry Gamer Roxas, and to, like, impress people at school, when I decided to, like, buy followers and just, like...
Oh, no. Harry.
Yeah, it was really stupid. And obviously I didn't have the viewership for the follower account that I have, so I just, like, thought it was really stupid and I deleted the account. Then I made one that was Roxas TV, perfect name, but was, like, not feeling streaming, and I got, like, super salty and just, like, deleted that channel too. So I made Paw Roxas, and that's when I started, like, playing with Kate and Jay when I first met them, and the channel's just gone to where it is now. It's, like, close to 1,000 followers as of, like, this recording. But I started out on... What was the first game we played on stream? It was Payday 2. We played Payday 2 first time on stream.
Oh, that was so bad. Like, that video. Remember, like, the encoding and everything? It was fucking garbage.
Yeah, like, I was having encoding issues with OBS, and so, like, I was getting, like, 15 FPS, and, you know, it was, like, you know, Kate and Jay, like, plugged my channel, too, and I had, like, 100 people in there, and they were watching, like, a Microsoft...
The worst stream ever.
Yeah, like, a Microsoft
Slideshow.
PowerPoint, like, Payday 2 edition. It was so bad.
Do you remember the GTA 5 community night?
Oh, dude, that was the worst thing we could have ever done. We, like, kind of like how Kate's Discord is, but at the time when we made it...
It was Dino Party.
Oh, yeah, Dino Party. It was the Dino Party one. And we made it open. It was one channel. There was nowhere to hide. And we just, like, just put it everywhere. And there was at least 70 people in, like, Discord voice chat. Just, like, it just sounded like ear rape.
It was white noise, yeah. It was a clusterfuck.
It was crazy. But, like, for what it was pretty fun. You have to admit. Like, at the time.
It was an experience,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, like, populating whole, like, race servers and just going nuts and all, like, people in fucking monster trucks and dune buggies and... fuck.
The only
Yeah.
thing I fucking hated about that was that, like, it was very circle jerky, you know, around Jason and I.
Yeah, it was like they super were like kiss up. But
And, like,
Yeah.
and they would try to, like, intentionally go for us, like, in races to try to take us out and stuff like that. And I remember getting really pissed off because, like,
yeah,
you were
you
fucking
fucking raged,
mad.
I
You,
could
like,
not get past the very first fucking choke point without everybody going on me and taking me out. So I remember, like, I got so mad at one point, I would just, like, sit at the very end of, like, the race and, like, take people out off the edge. Because I'm like, fuck you. If I don't get to have fun, neither do you. So fuck all you pieces of shit, you know?
Are you
And
sure
that's-
you weren't, Kate, just bad?
No. No, but yeah, it was probably a combination of being bad, and then I really didn't like the circle jerky atmosphere either, which is why I got rid of that Discord.
Yeah, like, as much as I liked doing community night, like, back when we had a TF2 server, people would only play on it when we were there. Like,
And we wanted it to become a thing that people could just, like, hop in, and it could be, like, another Furry Pounds, like, kind of thing, but it was just, yeah, it was just circle jerky, and that ended it, basically. which is
Yeah,
sad.
like, I don't want to be one of those popular people that just want to be constantly praised and admired all the time. Like, that's the entire reason that we went out of our way to only go out at MFF with, like, 3 people max. Is so that people could have an environment where they can walk up to us. Because when you have, like, 7 people fucking gobbling and turkeying around you all the time, that's impossible to approach. Like, that is so intimidating.
That's super intimidating, yeah. Like,
yeah, like, no one can approach that. So, like, you try and be on your own. You avoid hanging out with people you already know because you already fucking hang out with them locally anyway. So why travel 8 hours to hang out with the same people? No offense. And then, yeah, like, you did, like, the entire point in cons, at least for me, is to meet all the people that would otherwise never get to meet me, you know? And get to actually know who they are. Because I found so many people I found super cool that if I were to, like, go to cons in the same way I used to, the first couple of years,
you would have never met them.
I wouldn't even made eye contact with them. I'd be too busy, like, jerking off myself and jerking off my friends. So.
And, like, to touch a little bit on Discord stuff, again, like, I have a Discord server right now that's currently, like, under my name. It's just called Kabs Discord. And,
it has, like, how many people does it have in it now?
It has, like, over 1,000 people in it now. And I was never expecting it to grow that big. Like, I was just expecting it to sort of be like, you know, a few people will join. Whatever.
Another one.
Yeah,
that feels good.
Well, anyways, like, it's become sort of like a similar atmosphere where it's starting to get sort of circle jerky, and I want to, like, rename it.
I feel like it's more controlled than, like...
This is way more moderated and controlled. Because you have channels for everything. So
it's also got, like, sections where, like, other artists can promote their stuff. They can promote their streams. They can, you know, promote their commissions, and, like, it's very active. There's a lot of other artists in there that like, use it, and a lot of commissioners and just, like, people that you know.
Yeah, like, and a very, like, organized and moderated Discord is, like, it's done right. Like, mine only has about 200 people in it, but, like, when I do get the occasional trolls from my stream, which for some reason is happening a lot more often, my, like, the moderators are right on that and catch up on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I think the last case of it was just, like, a bunch of, you know, like, little high school kiddies. You find a stream, they're like, oh, this guy looks like a nerd. Let me just out nerd him and be a degenerate. So they'll, like, go in the chat and be like, why don't you come into this channel where we are? I'm obviously faking acting like a girl. And I'm just, like, sitting there like, do people fall for this? Like, are they, like, people are, like, this desperate to, like, talk to a female? But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
It's just
some
like,
people just see the numbers and like, oh, soapbox. Ooh, yeah, like, people can pay attention to me now, you know, but...
Yeah, but it's just like, when a Discord is done correctly and it's moderated correctly, I feel like even, like, if you do, like, hate the kind of kiss up atmosphere, it's something that you're probably gonna get, especially with, like, how high you guys are within, like, this specific community.
Yeah, sorry.
But
yeah, basically, if there's any type of Discord I really don't like that I see occasionally from the free community is the invite-only artist ones, or, like, just, this is my name / invite-only, because you're curating people that otherwise you might actually enjoy interacting with. You're, like, conforming to a bias of this is, like, the cherry-picking kind of people that I want to hang out with, and I don't like that. I like kind of,
like,
having, like, a cesspool, but then from the cesspool you occasionally fish out some nice people, you know?
I've met some really, really nice artists from my Discord that I would have never found otherwise. Like, that just came in, and I was, like, looking through the commissions tab of, like, artists posting their commissions or streams, and I would just click on people, and I'm like, holy shit, you know, this artist is really good. I'm really surprised I've never, like, seen them before. And, you know, I just add them as a friend, talk to them a little bit, and, yeah. Like, that's how you meet new people, and I like that.
Yeah, that's a really solid way of doing it.
Yeah. But yeah,
so we've covered getting fucked up, we've covered MFF, we've covered your stream. Is Rox, is there any other subjects you'd like to talk about, or like difficulties that you've had in the community before, like just general furry strifes or drama, or just like things, cool experiences you want to talk about?
I want to, like, you know, drama monger is not really my thing, but
this is
cool
the drama podcast.
Yeah, it's a shit talking podcast. Like, maybe
podcast.
You can, like, talk about topics without, like, obviously pointing directly at certain people. Like, wasn't there, like, an episode where you were, like, really uncomfortable at a con that one time, or?
Oh, well, there's, like, a few examples of that where I have people that, like, pick me out of a crowd, based on either like, I don't want to like put myself on a pedestal here, but like I think I look fairly attractive, and
Ego!
no, but real talk, I have like people that were like uncomfortably like approach me. Like I've had it a few times in Suit. This was like a really bad case at FWA where my first year I was talking to the Suit, and I thought it was really good. It was really well made, and the person like proceeds to like, when I go in for the hug, I go in for like the arm towards their waist and then like over the shoulder hug, because that's like a really basic like neutral hug. They proceed to like put my arm up towards where their shoulder was, and like at this point the hug is already in, and then they pick me up by my ass. Granted, I do have no idea who this person is. I just thought their suit looked cool, and like I pushed myself off them and pushed them off the floor. That person's banned from the con now, and I'm so glad.
Surprisingly,
because like at the time I was 17, the guy was like 30, you know.
Yeah.
But like uncomfortable experiences like at a con, I feel like now have not happened more or less like since like an extreme case like that, you know.
I'm very fortunate considering the amount of people that approach me that I haven't been like touched in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable or any of that
considering
yet.
Like how active you are in like the porn community, and like likewise with me too, like we have never really been uncomfortably like touched. Well, I have once by somebody at FE who came up to me while I was in Fursuit and like hugged me a little bit too long and started like
drifting
getting his
the hands a bit.
yeah,
like,
towards my butt, and I pushed them off and I just walked away. I'm like, no, that is not okay.
Yeah,
and like
please people that like watch this and like interact with fursuiters who like possibly like get a little gropey, the fandom is not your personal like sex gratification. Like please don't do that.
Just because somebody has like porn drawn of them or draws porn or interacts in a sexual way in the community does not give you the right to like
does not
touch
grant
them.
their personality as sexual, you know.
It does not open the floodgates to treat people in a way that you would not otherwise treat them in public. You don't go out to random people that, yeah, sure, you might know, like, say, a YouTuber or something and start touching their ass. That's fucking weird. Like, yeah, a lot of furries draw that kind of stuff, but that doesn't mean they're an open book that just wants, like, to be violated. A lot of people get really uncomfortable with that kind of shit, and, like, I'm very grateful that it hasn't happened to me yet, but I know too many people that have had a bad episode. So just please don't. Like,
and
come
like,
on, guys.
Hopefully this podcast sort of avoids that happening to you, Jay, but I have a feeling that especially like
just
once
talking about it, it's the internet. People are going to do the complete opposite.
Yeah, like
it's
I
okay.
know...
It's okay. If anyone touches my ass, they're going to get a fucking sock in the mouth. It's fine.
Yeah, like I know it's going to happen at least once, and I know that when it does happen, it is going to be funny because I know you're going to give them hell.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good time for them, especially with that amount, like the amount of people that respect me. That's going to be a really bad time for them.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be like a Shark Tank kind of situation. So yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I'd throw somebody off if they touched your ass and you like got really mad about it.
Roxas, what if you touched my ass? What would happen then? Would that be like a paradox?
I've already touched your ass.
I think I've touched your ass too.
Everybody touched each other's ass.
We all three of us have touched each other's asses.
Not in a sexual way, just like fuck you kind of way.
Not cucky.
Yeah, it's like surprisingly not cucky in the least. Like, just fucking around and like, because Roxas has this like plump fuckboy ass and refuses.
Oh, he's like he
Okay.
is a solid twig with the roundest ass you'd ever see. Like if he was not in suit and he was wearing spandex, oh man, his ass would be like a magnet.
You just have to like smack it. You see it and you have to hit it.
Granted, if any of you in this podcast hear this and think that was an invitation, I will personally beat you and throw you across the convention floor. Just saying. But, yeah, I don't know how my body got the way it did. All I do is just sit in a fucking chair and play video games.
Yeah, you're really fucking strong too for somebody who eats like 2 Five Guys burgers every day and like
fucking bullshit
doesn't work
that
out.
piss me off. So like here I am, this 26-year-old guy that goes to the gym at least somewhat frequently. Finally, this fuckboy comes over to visit us in Canada. Hasn't worked out, like, in 4 years or some shit. Fucking, hey, let's arm wrestle. Get destroyed.
And then,
like our one, we kind of slid around on the ground. I didn't actually officially lose to you yet. But me and Bleakley tied, and then Bleakley arm wrestled me.
I think it's time for Roxas to come in that room and you guys settle it once and for all. You guys.
I'll come in that room right now, Jay. We'll fucking arm wrestle on the floor.
We'll
no, you got to do it on the table because like, just do it.
No, you can't come in because that's going to ruin my fucking puppet. So it's going to be something we tweet about after. So don't fucking worry about it.
All right, fine.
I mean, we could just do it in post. Just like...
Yeah, post.
Just
Do
like you laying on the floor and I have like my foot over you saying I won the arm wrestle. Which will probably happen realistically because, Jason's a weak bitch.
I'll record it and we'll put it at the end of the podcast. So yeah, stay tuned for the end of the podcast and you'll see who wins.
I was like proud of myself that I was able to hold back Tal, which is like he's incredibly strong in his own like military man.
Really ripped.
I wasn't able to I pushed him for like the beginning, but then like I only was able to hold him in that place, and then he just like slowly won. Like Jay kind of got crushed immediately. But I like gained strength from that. Like
when the arm wrestling came down to the forearms, like it was in that like forearm balancing part, you actually held your own for a bit, but then you finally lost. Like I don't know, like you said, like baseball is the reason your forearms are so thick, but like to give you a mental picture of this guy's forearms, they're fucking rocks. Like he's got diamond fucking forearms and arms for some reason, and all he does is play Warcraft, TF2, PUBG.
Yeah, I don't really work out at all. I just I guess it's just good genetics at that point. But, yeah. Don't worry, Tal, if you're hearing this. Since we keep talking about Tal, I'm gonna get strong. I'm gonna beat you in an arm wrestle.
Can we talk about Tal's like cuck adventures? Even though
no.
You should
we save that?
Unless he goes on the podcast. Bring him onto
okay.
the podcast. That's
okay, everyone. In the future, we'll have our friend Talania come onto the podcast. We'll talk amazing cuck stories. That guy has a very colorful history. He is a character, that's for sure. Oh man. Fuck. So, should we? Any other last footnotes before we wrap up the podcast, Roxas? I'd say that's been like around an hour. At least it feels like an hour anyway.
I can look at my Audacity. It's been an hour and 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good time. So, any closing plugs or anything you want to do? So, obviously, you want to name your fucking podcast, like your Twitch channel and shit.
Yeah, I stream at twitch.tv/PawRoxas. I play like a variety of games. We have like a really good community over on my stream, and in my Discord we talk a lot, post a lot of top keks, and Photoshop my face on Emperor Palpatine occasionally.
Oh my god. Okay, that's going on the screen. 100% going on the screen right now. Fucking love that face.
Yeah, so other than that, I really enjoyed like coming on this podcast and talking about like my adventures in Canada and MFF and the Red Arc.
It's been a crazy week. So, Caitlin, how can people find you? Because no one knows who you are either.
You can find me on Fursuit.
No one cares. All right, so everyone, let's do a collect.
Fuck everybody! I'm gone.
No, okay, so we'll end the podcast with a top quality 10 out of 10 read. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're good.